just like that, it is a Saturday morning with your girl Val B. It is a Saturday morning with your girl Val B. I am your purpose pusher, your fellow dream chaser, the absolute best goal friend. That's GOAL friend. Also in this season, it has been declared that I am a midwife. I help people to birth purpose, and now I need all my purpose pushers to push again. Just like that, it is a Saturday morning trying to update some stuff, make sure that I have the right title. So as you speak, come on. I mean, as you speak, as you come in, go ahead and speak. As you come in, go ahead and speak. Also, that's my way of knowing that my comments are on. So hello to everybody that has jumped on this morning. Again, it's your girl Val B, trying to catch you before 12 noon hits, because I know once 12 noon hits, everybody kind of goes their own separate ways. I do not own the rights to any music play. So hello to everybody. If you come in, if you would do me a favor and speak. I see quite a few people on. If you could speak so that I can make sure that my comments are on. So I can make sure that my comments are on. So I'm going to go ahead. You know, I believe time is money, and I believe, thank you, Sister Adams. Thank you, Sister Gloria. I appreciate that. I believe time is money and money is time. And I'm not going to be before you very long. The song selection that I had this morning was This Means War. I think it's by Pastor Charles Jenkins. But the song says This Means War. And what I wanted to come and kind of share with you all this morning and alert you, you know, a lot of times I like to bring you power pack stuff that's going to make you, you know, get all hype, get all, you know. But sometimes the things that we have to talk about kind of come on a reflective piece. And I want to talk about this morning. There is an enemy in the camp. There is an enemy in the camp. Hey, Tony Parker. Hey, I see my cousin Angela. I see, you know, everybody that's chiming in, and cousin Rick. So good morning. Look, there's an enemy in the camp. There's an enemy in the camp. And I'm real big on saying know your tribe, know who's in your circle, know who your people are, know who has your back, know who has your back when you're not in the room, know who has your back when you are in the room. You got to know your tribe. Know the ones that's gonna push you, know the ones that's gonna support you, know the ones that's gonna pray for you, just like you know the ones that's I'm trying to get the best angle. Just like you know the ones who's holding the knife. You know the song, smile in your face all the time, trying to take your place, backstabbers. You've got to know your tribe. Everybody has a role, everybody plays a part. And sometimes we talk about the haters, and we talk about the non-congratulators, and we talk about the naysayers. But one thing that we've got to know, y'all don't forget to love and share. One thing that we've got to know and that we've got to remember is that even Judas had a plan. Even Judas had a part in the plan. Judas was important to the plan. Judas was essential to the plan. So a lot of times we get frustrated when we have an overwhelming amount of, let's say, adversity, when we have an overwhelming amount of people that we thought were going to be there, that we thought were going to support, that we thought were going to be with us for the entirety of the journey, and we realize they are not. I don't want us to get caught up in that. But today I want to talk about a particular enemy that's in the camp. And the enemy that's in the camp on today, and this is a download straight from God. And understand, a lot of times when he rebukes or when he kind of gives me a strange or a difficult word, trust, it hits here first before it hits here. So before I share with you, it done already came and whooped me real good. The enemy in the camp for some of us is ourselves. The enemy in the camp for some of us is the person in the mirror. The enemy in the camp for some of us is the person that should be our loudest cheerleader. Have my sweet Ariel. The enemy for some of us in the camp are the ones that we spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with 365 days a year, 366 on the leap year. Sometimes the enemy in the camp is us. And today I want to talk to you. When you say, what do you mean I'm the enemy in the camp? What do you mean? Because I go hard for me. I go all in for me. But I need you to understand, when we have episodes of doubt, when we have episodes of wanting to give up, when we have episodes of wanting to throw in the towel, when we have the episodes of allowing frustration to rule, when we have the episode of allowing our emotions, we allow our emotions, that's when the enemy in the camp becomes us. That's right, Tony. You got to know your enemies. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. The enemy in the camp that I'm speaking of on today is the man in the mirror, in the words of Michael Jackson. I'm talking about the man in the mirror, and I'm asking him to change his ways. There are some of us that we have so much potential. We have so much that's been promised to us. We have so much that has been spoken over us. We haven't even began to tap into a half of what's on the inside. Some of us are just at the fourth line. We've only tapped into a fourth of our talents. We've only tapped into a fourth of our creativity. We've only tapped into a fourth of our gifts. We've only tapped into a fourth of what we're supposed to get. But there are some of us that there are times when we let things like a lack of discipline, like a lack of accountability. That's when the enemy in the camp becomes us, because now we are our holdup. We are the one that have put ourselves in park. We are the ones that have taken ourselves out of gear. We are the ones that have stopped the momentum. We are the ones that have stopped the flow. Y'all don't forget to love and share for me. So sometimes we have to take a pause for the cause and realize that although we have adversaries that's on the outside, although we have adversaries kind of like when you saw Jaws, or you see a circle of sharks, kind of encircling somebody, they got their eye on something. Yeah, we understand we have enemies. We have people, we understand that they're waiting to see us fall. We have some people, we understand they're waiting to see us fail. But sometimes the enemy in the camp is the one that lives within. Some of us are fighting World War Me because we are allowing certain things to stop us and to halt us from living our best lives. We're allowing some of our attributes and some of our characteristics to stop us from tapping into our full potential, for maximizing and for capitalizing on everything that we were born and birthed to do. There are some times when we say, oh, I got time. That's my thing right there. I'm a big procrastinator. Oh, I got time. I can do that later. And before you know it, you scrambling trying to get something together. You're scrambling trying to put it together to meet the deadline, whether it's a personal deadline or a deadline that you set, or met with someone, whether you're working on a project. There are so many things inside of us, but there are times when we are not our worst critic, but we're our biggest enemy. Hello, lights. And that's a hard pill to swallow. That's a hard fact to face sometimes, when the enemy is the inner me, as my cousin Evangelist Angela on the line, as she's saying all the way in Texas. Sometimes the enemy is the inner me. We are living in World War Me. And what I have been called to do, what I have been called to challenge you to do, is to understand that there are some characteristics that we carry. There are some characteristics that we have. There are some characteristics that we display that's causing us to miss out on being the best version of ourselves. There are times that my lack of discipline, there are times that my lack of organization, there are times that my lack of planning has caused me or halted me from being excellent in what I've been called to do. I didn't get the project done. I didn't get this fulfilled. I didn't do this. I didn't venture out. Sometimes it's fear. It's all sorts of things. And for everybody, it's something different. We don't all have the same characteristic that can cause us to sink. It's like, remember, the Bible talks about the sin and the weights. Sometimes we have characteristics or attributes that are weights to us. It's a weight to our success. And when I say weight, I don't mean W-A-I-T. I mean W-E-I-G-H-T. Something that's pulling us down, something that's slowing us up, something that won't allow us to move and to be free. You got to know there's a reason for handcuffs. There's a purpose for handcuffs. And there are some things that we have allowed to handcuff us in life, and it's limiting our movement. It's limiting our success. It's limiting our opportunities. It's limiting us even thinking or trying. We've got to learn how to think outside of the box when it comes to year 2021. I need for you to understand that there are some things about ourselves that we're going to have to open up our eyes, acknowledge, and realize that this is one of the reasons that I'm not moving and flowing as easily and as gracefully as I can in life. This is the reason that I'm not achieving and marking out, being able to check some things off my checklist, because I've got to realize there's an enemy living on the inside of me. There's an enemy in the camp, and I've got to identify what is that characteristic. What is that thing that's holding me back? What is that thing that's limiting me? What is the thing that won't let me soar and fly? What is the thing that won't let me get this goal accomplished? What is this thing that won't let me put this conference together? What is this thing that won't let me put this organization together? What is this thing that won't let me start on the first page of the book that I promised the people that I was going to do 3 years ago? What is this thing from limiting me from writing the lyrics to this song that could be a #1 hit? There are so many things inside of you. What is stopping you from applying for that new job? What is stopping you from going back to school and getting that degree or getting that certification? There are so many things that's stopping us. But when we realize that there is an enemy enemy in the camp, and it's not always somebody on the outside, but I realize there is something that's causing me to not live in the prayer of Jabez, which says, bless me, enlarge my territory, increase. There are some of us, we can live in increase, but we're the ones that's stopping us. So my question today is, what is stopping you? What's stopping you from moving to the next level? What's stopping you from soaring to the next level? What's stopping you from putting that and being able to check that off of your bucket list and to say that you've done it, been there, done that? What is stopping you? And that's not a rhetorical question. What I'm asking you today is, seriously, what is stopping you? Sometimes we have distractions, and I've talked about blinders before, where we got to kind of be able to focus on what it is I'm supposed to be doing in this time of this season. So my question to you today, and I'm looking for answers, I'm waiting on responses. What is it that's stopping you? For me, it's a lack of discipline in some areas, sometimes, and procrastination. And when you're able to say that, and when you're able to realize that this is not a characteristic or an attribute that I'm going to be able to have and to be successful and to live out everything. See, some of us, remember I talked about, some of us have only tapped into certain parts. Some of us have only tapped into a portion of what we're supposed to do and what we're supposed to be. But I want to know this morning, what is stopping you? What is stopping you from living your full potential? What is stopping you from living your dream life? What's stopping you from living in the prayer of Jabez and having your territory enlarged? What's stopping you from reaching that next goal? What's stopping you? That's what I need to know this morning. What is stopping you? And if we're not able, if there's a saying that says, to thine own selves be true. We've got to come to a time and a place where we actually stop long enough to self-reflect and to identify and to realize and to adjust. Realize there are some adjustments that I'm going to have to make in my life if I want to be successful. There are some thought patterns that I'm now going to have to change, or I'm now going to have to throw away, or I'm now going to have to disregard. I can no longer think that way. I can no longer operate that way if I want to be successful. So my question to you today is, what is stopping you? What's holding you up from being the best version of you? What's limiting you in this season? What enemy do you realize that's in your camp? And again, I know this is not necessarily a popular topic. This is not something necessarily that people really want to talk about when you come on to say, but the moment that you realize one or some of the things that's stopping you, one or some of the things that's slowing you down, one or some of the things that's causing you not to move at the speed and the rate that you could possibly move, when you realize that and you make those adjustments, then you open a limited world of possibilities and opportunities. You create opportunities. You've now shifted the atmosphere. You've now shifted the environment. And then your success becomes contagious. And that's what I want my life to be. That's what I want the testimony of my life to be, that my success was contagious. The fire and the passion that I had, I passed it down to the next generation. The fire and the passion that I had to do something, to be something, to excel, to soar, it's now passed on to the people that's around me. Don't wear a mask around my success. That'll preach all by itself. Don't wear a mask, because whatever you want what I got. And that's how that ought to be what you're striving for, to be the answer to somebody's prayer, to be what somebody needs, to be the encouragement where sometimes you don't even have to say a word, but your life and your successes and your attributes, and you living into your full capability of life, and you soaring and you excelling and you being mighty and you being marvelous and you being great and whatever it is that you're called to do. Let me tell you something. Just because the market is oversaturated does not mean that God's hand is not upon you. And sometimes we allow the ability to look at other people and to kind of compare our journeys. Oh, well, too many people are doing this. Too many people are talking about this. Too many people have put this book out. Too many people have tried this. Too many people have owned a food truck. Too many people have put a conference on. And we allow in our heads to feel like, because the market is oversaturated, that God's hand is not going to be upon us. But what I'm telling you in this season is, you got to realize realize that there is an enemy in the camp. There is a seeds of doubt that have been planted. There are seeds of I don't think I can do it. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough people on my team. There are all kind of seeds that we kind of planted, and now we've got to pull these bad seeds up by the root and determine in our lives and make a purpose in our lives and make a point in our lives to realize that I've got to plant seeds of better. I've got to plant seeds of more. I've got to plant seeds of increase. I got to plant seeds of faith. I got to plant seeds of confidence. I got to plant seeds in seeing it through. I got to plant seeds for having a strong finish. Y'all, there are different types of seeds that we've got to start planting now. We've got to pluck some things up by the root. When I say pluck it up by the root, that's a hard thing to do, because once it's ingrained and once we've allowed time to pass, and before you know it, it's a whole nother year, and so some of the things that you had said you were going to do, you haven't even touched the surface on them. But I keep trying to remind you, and when I remind you, I'm just reminding myself as well. There is something more on the inside of us. There is a season of better that we are upon in the year 2021, and if we're going to receive the promise of better, and if we're going to live in a world of better, we've got to understand that we've got to identify those negative characteristics, or there's those areas of growth that we have in our life that we say we need to grow. We need to grow. We need to spread out. We need to start all over. And another big thing is having, again, an accountability partner when you're trying to do. You can't hook up with somebody that's just going to let you, slide by every deadline. That's not going to, kind of put it on you. Say, Angela, Annette, CC, Tanyetta, Gloria, are you doing what you said you were going to do? Are you doing it in the time frame? And you know what? Sometimes people, look, Cece, my cousin sister, she didn't even ask me. She made herself my self-proclaimed accountability partner in a project that they know I should have done years ago. And instead of just constantly asking me, she turned up the heat on me. So now instead of just constantly texting me and asking me, hey, have you done this? Hey, have you done this? This lady will start calling me, telling me, pull out your calendar. Now we're going to have a meeting at this day, at this time. And when you come, I need you to bring this. See, you got to have some people like that in your life. You got to have, and only that, you got to realize that sometimes you're going to have to be there for some people. You're going to have to be a self-proclaimed accountability partner. When you know that somebody has greater inside of them, and that's when you know you got a strong tribe. When your tribe members don't care if you shine and they ain't shining. When your tribe members don't care if your name is being called out and theirs is not being called out. They don't care if you're in the forefront and they're in the background. But the thing about it is, when one succeeds, we all succeed. When one of the tribe members make it, we all make it. When one of the people make it out the hood, we all make it out the hood. You got to have some people in your life. Woo! Hear me and hear me good. That's going to take the initiative to step up and not let you be mediocre. You got to have some people that's going to see beyond the smile, and they're going to see beyond, and they're going to see the private frustrations that you have, and they're going to see the private fears that you have, and the private self-esteem issues that you have. They're going to see beyond all of that, and they're going to push you out of that place into a place of better. They're going to push you into a place of greatness. Not that they're creating or morphing, but they see the seeds that God has planted inside of you, and they realize that, you know what? You sat on this seed long enough. It's time to water this seed. It's time to nourish this seed. It's time to give this seed some sunlight. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, this is the season of moving forward. This is the season of accountability partners. This is the season of keep rising to the top. But we got to understand, it goes back to what the topic is all about. You got to realize that at some time there is an enemy in the camp, and the enemy is the person that I went to bed with last night. The enemy is the person that I woke up to this morning. That enemy is me, and I've got to find within myself, what can I do in this season to make me better? You gotta, you know what? Have you ever seen somebody that has gone out and they looked a hot mess? Y'all, I'm sorry, I keep fooling with this camera. They looked a hot mess, and you say to yourself, they can't have no friends. You can't have no friends for them to have let you go out looking like that. And sometimes There's got to be some people that sitting around you and say, she can't have no friends. She can't have no friends. He can't have no friends. If they are allowing her or him to sit on the things, the gifts that's inside of them, the talents that's inside of them, the capability that's inside of them, the sky is the limit that's inside of them, and they just sitting on, they can't have no friends to just let them. How do you can't even call yourself a friend if you look at the next person that you're close to, you look at the next person that you say you love and you care about, and you just let them slide by with just getting by, doing enough, not, just doing enough to get by. That's what I'm trying to say. We ain't about that life no more. We left that back in 2021, 2019, and 2020 and 2019. In 2021, we are striving to be better. We are striving to do better. We are striving to push others for better. We are striving for better in ourselves. We're identifying and realizing and understanding and processing and acknowledging the fact that there is an enemy in the camp. But as what is today? Saturday, February the 6th, 2021, I've identified the fact that there is an enemy in the camp, and I'm going to take power and authority over that enemy. And now it's time for me to shift some things. Now it's time for things to change. Now it's time for me to reprioritize not just the things in my life, but the people that's in my life. Now it's time for me to get some things marked off my checklist. Now it's time for me to get some things done. It's time to move in this season. It's time to flow fluidly in this season. It's enough with the stop and start. A lot of times I can get places in Memphis two ways. I can take the streets or I can take the E-way. And a lot of times, although the distance seems short, you know what? I'm going to hop on the E-way. Why? Because I ain't got no stoplights. I ain't got no stop signs. Everybody know how we moving, how they know how we flowing. They know we moving at a certain pace. They know we moving at a certain way. So again, I can bypass all of that. And in 2021, we bypassing the streets. We bypassing the yield sign. We're bypassing the stop sign. We're bypassing the four-way. We're bypassing the school zones. We're bypassing anything that's going to make us slow down in this season. I see Apostle Bill Anderson is on the line, y'all. Y'all got to catch him in the mornings. I know he does Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays at 6 a.m. He usually comes with a powerful word and a powerful prayer behind it. But in this season, you got to connect with people. You got to connect with things. You got to set your mind in a state where you understand, you know what, I got to make up for lost time. I've got to ask God to redeem the time in certain areas. And in this 2021, that's what we all about. We're understanding and realizing that there is an enemy in the camp, and we refuse to let the enemy continue to hold us hostage in this season. We're breaking free. We're escaping by any means necessary. We're shutting it down. We're walking away. We're throwing the deuces. Out to that mindset, to that way of thinking, to that way of operating. And I'm leaving the lack of discipline. I'm leaving the being disorganized, unorganization behind. I'm leaving the excuses behind. I'm leaving the fear of failure or even the fear of success. I'm leaving all of the distract. I'm leaving all of that behind. And I've made a vow to myself, and I've made a conscious decision to say in this season, I've identified who and what the enemy in the camp is. And now it's time for me to just move accordingly. Just move accordingly. And again, you ain't got to always announce what's about to pop off. Just let your successes speak for you. Let them be the introduction to you walking in the room. And again, people say, where did she come from? Look like he was an overnight success. Look like she was an overnight success. But people don't know the tears you cried. People don't know the hard times, the stop and starts that you've had. And so when they see you soar to your level of next, and they see God put you on the fast pace, you seen a course that's the fast pace where you can take this class and it take a whole year, or you can do the fast pace and do all your time and get it done in 6 months. Baby, we on the fast course. We on the fast. We in express life. That's what we're doing in this season. And I admonish you. I'm pushing you as well as pushing myself to reevaluate the people that's in your life. Not to, like, you just got to throw them away. But you just got to realize that some people serve more purpose than others. And in this season of getting all that all that belongs to us, all that was promised to us, all that was declared over us, all that we prayed for, all that we believe for, man, look, I'm going hard for mine. I'm going hard for what I want. I'm going hard for what belongs to me. I'm going hard for what my name is attached to. And I refuse to let the enemy in the camp, I refuse to let me stop me from the blessings that were declared for me over my life before I was even born. Before I was even in my mother's womb, God already had a set predestined plan for me. And that plan, that's the plan I'm looking for. That's the plan I want to be on. That's the track I want to be on. So again, in this season, I'm just trying to let you know that there is I'm telling you, there's an enemy in the camp, and the enemy is a part of World War Me. But what I'm doing, and the next little days, next few days, next fleet moments, I'm identifying what that enemy is so that I can be free from the enemy, so that I can level up and move to the next stage of the game, so that I can move to the next level, so that I can get what belongs to me, so that I can get what was promised to me. And it's easy, it's just easy. It's 1, 2, 3 in the words of Michael Jackson. A, B, C. Hey, easy as 1, 2, 3. But you got to be bold enough. You got to be in a place and transparent enough where you're able to look at yourself and critique yourself and kind of fix some things. A lot of times we don't want to critique ourselves. We want to live with our head in the clouds, like everything is hunky-dory, everything is good. No, you are living beneath who you are simply because you refuse to step out, simply because you refuse to drop the fear, simply because you refuse to step out of what people said you couldn't do. Oh, you will never be this, you will never do that. They'll never, baby. It ain't about what you think, it ain't about what you say, but it's about what I'm doing in this season. I'm trying to use my mama's phone for my music, and she got this good old Android. And I don't know nothing about that Droid life. I'm an Apple girl, so we're not gonna have no outro music. I just want to encourage you to know that there is an enemy in the camp. But the sooner that you identify the enemy within, that enemy, World War Me, that inner me, that enemy that's in the inner me, the sooner that you decide to acknowledge what it is, whether it's a lack of patience, whether it's a whatever, CC, whether it's a lack of temperance, whether it's so many different things. One little thing, I don't know if you ever had something that one little thing was off, and once you got that one little thing right, once you tweak that one little thing, everything works fine, everything works smoothly. For some of us, it's not that the enemy piece is just that big. It could be one little thing. Maybe you need to increase your patience. Maybe you need to learn how to forgive, how to truly forgive. Maybe you need to increase that love and that compassion. And sometimes we talk about forgiving others and we haven't even forgiven ourselves. Y'all, it's so many different things that all of us are dealing with, but it's that one little thing can stop us from achieving that goal if we don't fix it. So y'all, that's my challenge to us on today. Told you I wouldn't be long before you. But I just had to drop that word. Hey, Mama Sheena. I just had to drop that word that the Lord had given me a couple of days ago, that there is an enemy in the camp. And the enemy that's in the camp this time is not your hater. It's not your non-congratulator. It's not your ex that can't stand your goods. It's not that woman or that man that worked with you that didn't think you was supposed to get their position and they trying to set up. It ain't none of those people that's the enemy. This time, the enemy that I'm speaking of is the one that lives on the inside of us, the one that will not allow us to be great, the one that's stopping us from fulfilling that vision or even writing the vision. But y'all, in 2021, we coming with something a little bit different. Y'all don't forget to love and share for me. In 2021, we're coming with something a little bit different. And in the words of 8Ball and MJG, we coming out hard. That's all I can tell you. We coming out hard. All right, so it's your girl, Val B. I'm your purpose pusher, your fellow dream chaser, the absolute best goal friend. This GOAL friend. Also, in this season, it has been declared that I am a midwife. I help people to birth purpose, and I need all of my purpose pushers to push. So my challenge to you over the next few days is to identify the areas of growth. Identify the enemy. Identify what the fight is for World War Me. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna crush it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it big. Because there's a saying that says giants do die. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And I want you to know the giants that's in your life that's stopping you from being your best self, from living your best life, from accomplishing every dream. Those giants, oh, they about to go down. I need you to understand that. We're going to do this and we're going to do it together. Thank you for walking this journey with me on today. I hope something was said or done that encouraged you or inspired you to want to move to the next level. And we're going to do it together, y'all. Have a happy Saturday. Make today great. Go love on somebody on purpose, but most of all, love on yourself. Now, I'll catch you all, see you all at the top, because that's where you will find me. Happy Saturday, everybody.